in some dry drowning today. I don't know anything about this game, so we're just gonna go ahead and go in blind. Come on, be honest. What are you really afraid of? Loneliness? Or maybe death? No. What you truly fear is being forgotten. Living the mediocre life of a loser. How would I know? Well, that's because you and I are more similar than you'd like to admit. And that's why. I know exactly how to make you suffer. Thanks to me, you will learn that every happy ending is a lie. Alright, nice. Love it. I might die a loser. Ciudad Nova Palamos on a rainy winter night. Not only is it winter, it has to rain too. Mordred. What kind of name is that? 2 years. It's been 2 damn years. I can't quite believe I'll be able to go back to live a normal life. Nice shot of him though, you know? Could be such a nice day if it wasn't for this stupid rain. Hera's already home. Full investigations. I better not disturb her. Shade's being interrupted while she's playing. I'll just smoke a cigarette and tell her the good news as soon as she's done. Didn't you already smoke a cigarette? How many do you smoke? Damn it, I'm fresh out. I should have a pack somewhere in my office. To explore the current location, select Investigate from the Aqua OS menu in the upper left corner. Okay, weird. Select the area you want to inspect to receive information or potential evidence and clues essential for solving the case. There's so many things to investigate. Our umbrella stand is at least 10 years old. Hera refuses to buy a new one. Why do you need to buy a new one when it works? Here's her shadow. Hera's shadow. This shadow represents the current state of our relationship. Oh, that's not good. Hera's piano. It took her months to convince me to move it here in the office. What'd she put it in the office for? Hera had this curtain installed when she started playing her piano here in the office. She said it was making her feel uncomfortable. It's still here. Why are you here in the office with a piano if it makes you uncomfortable? This is why our relationship is like this. You. Hera's filing cabinet. It's neat and tidy, unlike mine. A pile of old newspapers. Eric keeps on saying that they might come in handy. Women. Go figure them. Yeah, you're a problem right now. Hera's workstation. Very neat, just you'd expect for. What the hell? Where's our shit at? Is this it? This is just our area? Years ago, we used to spend hours looking out these windows, standing on a chair trying to figure out the personality of each passerby. Such light-hearted moments while we still enjoyed our job. don't enjoy their job no more. A map showing the central area of Nova Polemos. A chair for our potential clients. Sometimes I wonder why we never bought a more comfortable one. So, do we own this place? Does a client like come inside and she's just gonna be there playing the piano like, don't disturb me? And I'll picture the opening of our agency about 10 years ago. This thing is one of Era's presents. When she gave me, she just said, "This is dog. It's so cute." I can't tell what it is, but apparently I guess it's a dog. Flies about the case that led to all our legal problems files, not flies. I swear I've never understood what this thing's for. Era keeps saying it's essential to the harmony of the room. And they're like a cabinet. Half filing cabinet, half bookshelf. It's full of pseudo-intellectual books just to show off. My trusty chair where I've spent countless hours while pretending to work. Technology's come a long way, but I try to use these damn things as little as possible. What is it? I can't tell what it is. My trusty drawer where I hide my most treasured things. You've attained a pack of 20 cigarettes. Show me. Since the United Nations approved the Anti-Tobacco Act in 2048, cigarette packets have no brand and show grotesque graphics depicting smoking consequences on health. Only those with a death wish could be attracted to them. 2048? What year is this? Here they are, my babies. To examine and use items you've collected during investigation, select inventory from the Aquos menu. Yeah, I already did. Well, I guess I can use it now. Oh yeah, suck it in, baby. Is that you? You better hope so. You should seriously stop playing sad songs. Our neighbors might end up killing themselves. Mordred? If you hear, that means... Yeah, even though everyone knew I was guilty, I've been acquitted for lack of evidence. Funny how the law works, isn't it? So, does that mean we're free now? Definitely free from justice, but not from the hatred of the relatives of those I've sent the electric chair. If anything, we can go back to work starting tomorrow. That is, assuming someone is crazy enough to hire a convicted felon like me. Will we ever put an end to this? Yeah. What medium victims need is just a scapegoat. You're free to leave if you want. It's me they want dead. Damn. I'm just as guilty as you are, you know it. Running away would just delay the inevitable. We're both monsters. The only difference between us is that you're out in the open. Wrong. The only real difference between us is that you are a good-looking monster. You idiot. Anyway, do whatever the hell you want, but don't say I didn't warn you. Are we married? Or are we just, like, together? They don't act like a married couple. Mordred Foley, the true life of the party as always. I just wonder how much longer we can deal with all this pressure on us. Okay, it's 2066. You think things would look nicer in 2066? Like, look at this place. I totally understand the situation, madame. Sure, I'll be waiting for you in my office. Of course, confidentiality is the motto of our agency. What's up? You won't believe it. I think we got a new customer. She seems to be a big shot and she's coming to our office right now. Well, this is great. Quick, tell me more before she gets here. So, like, speak underneath these circumstances. Why not just keep talking? Why do I gotta press speak? The panels that will appear represent only available conversation topics. The options marked with a red label are considered important and mandatory in order to advance the story. Select a conversation topic to start the dialogue. The client. What do you know about this new client? She's the assistant of a politician, that's all she said. A politician? Since when do we accept this kind of job? At this point, I'd welcome the devil himself as a client. I have a bad feeling. You should know that our business is built on bad feelings. Have you read today's newspaper? No, is there anything interesting? I mean, besides the usual rubbish on immigration. Definitely. 4 days ago, while we were still in the courtroom, a body was found in Treasury Park. And they reported just today. Good old censorship strikes again. At least they'll stop talking about us so that we can work in peace. Here, read the article when you have time. Oh, we get Noah Palamose. Let's read this one. Murder at Treasury Park. On the 22nd of February 2066, a tragic murder occurred in Treasury Park, whose culprit is still unknown. The diligent police force of our immortal city has already arrested a potential suspect, thanks to the remarkable work of Lieutenant Freya Goldsoul. The name of the suspect and the murder dynamics are still undisclosed. Some rumors claim that a ritual murder was committed there, a murder with untold violence. Nevertheless, these rumors are considered unreliable by our police. Nova Polemos A. In 2017, the Canberries, still considered the richest and most influential family on the planet, founded Nova Polemos in a deserted area of northern Europe. Built as a symbol of independence and conceived as an alternative for those who are wandering. After 10 years, it was boasting more than 1 million people, as well as an extremely high economic and social growth rate. Today, the city is considered an actual country in the international scene, completely independent of all groups and organizations in the world. Well, they don't have not much on us. Oh, I was like, innocence is just a matter of perspective. I'd rather burn into the flames of regret than live a mediocre life. Alright. Looks like she's already here. Welcome to Full Investigations, madame. Hello, detective. Like I said on the phone, my name is Julie Ward. Success is a matter of good taste. And I'm Mr. Baker's personal assistant. Julie Ward's business card, member of the Black Band. You can feel it's from someone important from the quality and the style of it. Most members of Black bands, it's so difficult to say if that's an A or an O, are privileged snobs representing the good old days which actually never happened. Baker? You mean that Baker? The Black Bands. Founded after the burst of the economic bubble in 2030 and the consequent crisis, The only purpose of the party was to bring the city to its original splendor, by closing borders and expelling all those immigrants that were considered useless. Their extremist and nostalgic ideas took hold of people who decided to vent their frustration by voting in the party en masse. Their victory marked the beginning of the most violent 3 years in the history of the city. The police slaughtered anyone who tried to cross the city borders and expelled more than 230,000 individuals considered socially invalid. For the first time in history, discrimination was not based on language, race, or culture, but merely on social value. Such a lovely place here. Burgundy floor perfectly matches the antique furniture. What's missing is a floral sofa to complete the quiche masterpiece. Excuse me? Excuse me? Huh? And who, may I ask, are you? This is Hera. She's my assistant, kind of. Yeah, nice to meet you, Miss Ward. Oh, I see. Are you trying to ignore me or something? Detective, can we discuss our business privately, please? Privately? What is that? Dude! Are you part of this or not? Like, what do you mean, kind of an assistant? What's wrong, madame? What I'm about to disclose is strictly confidential. I'd rather not have assistants around. If you don't mind, of course. Oh, not at all. I'll leave right away. Have a good evening. Hera. I think you owe me an explanation for this. Alright, shall we begin? Problems with Hera? Let me make something clear, Mr. Foley. I didn't dismiss your assistant for racist reasons, but simply to comply with the confidentiality conditions set by our party. I don't know why, but I find that hard to believe. Many members of the party would like to see people like her deported, but I'm not one of them. Listen, I'm not interested in your political games. I don't need your hypocritical excuses either. What I want from you is money and to be sure that Hera will be left out of this, that's all. I see. My apologies for this, but the case we want to offer you is extremely delicate. Enough to get Hera out of this conversation? Well, when it comes to murders and politics, it's better to be safe than sorry. Are you talking about the murder in the newspaper? That's right. 4 days ago, my boss, Richard Baker, was involved in a murder case whose method was rather peculiar. Peculiar? The point is that elections are coming up, and as you might know, Mr. Baker's favored to win. This kind of business might destroy his and the whole party's image. Now I see why the papers are so vague on the matter. The Black Bands have a lot of enemies within our city, so we want to turn the situation to our advantage. If you manage to clear Mr. Baker's name, we'll be able to use the whole case to influence public opinion and make people understand what a thorn in the flesh he can be for his opponents. I understand, but tell me, how would the police know that Baker committed this peculiar murder? An eyewitness. Also, the victim was Mr. Baker's lover, who had been blackmailing him for years. A lover that blackmails? Alright. And if you add all the political opponents wanting him behind bars, you'll have the complete picture. Why are you so vague about everything? Who's the victim? How'd she die? I can't give you all these details yet, but I can tell you the case is more complicated than you think. There's a link between the victim, Mr. Baker, and the eyewitness. As I mentioned, Alicia, the victim, was Mr. Baker's lover, and she'd been blackmailing him for a while. Whereas Abigail Sherman, the eyewitness, is his current wife's sister, Anne Sherman. He's got a wife and a lover? Huh? The police believe that witness followed Baker and his lover because she knew they had an affair, thus witnessing the murder in person. Okay, I got it. Needless to say, you're hiding something from me, aren't you? Again, I can't say much until I've given you all the information as agreed with the party. Let me get this straight. You want my agency to clear an extremist politician's name so that he can win the upcoming elections. By proving that he has been framed by those who want to ruin the future of your beloved city? Do you think I'm your puppet or what? I'll be honest with you, Mr. Foley. You're one of the most hated men around here, and no one will ever knock at the door of someone who caused the death of 2 innocent citizens. So why did you? Because we know your methods and we don't care if you find the real killer or not, to be honest. Wow. We just want you to focus on getting our leader cleared. Whoever will be arrested in this place is not our business. Go along with our request and you'll receive 50,000 credits and the chance to permanently clear your name. Furthermore, there's a reason I didn't want to disclose any details about the murder. Get to the point. Go investigate the crime scene. I'm sure you'll accept the case without a second thought. I won't be to get even close to the crime scene, not after all the problems I've had with the police and the media lately. We'll handle this, don't worry. He's worried. If you're willing to redeem yourself in the eyes of society, this is your only chance. Have a good evening, detective. Don't tell me you're going to accept. Hera, have you been listening to us? Mordred, don't forget the Black Bands killed all those poor refugees. The only reason I'm still alive is that I arrived right before the shooting. I saw so many unemployed people getting beaten, along with anyone they considered of no use to their cause. I know, but that's in the past. Those who ordered the massacre are in jail now. The party took a more moderate line. They could even lose the next elections, you know? Besides, that woman is right. If we don't accept this job, it's over for us. I'd rather live a life of misery than working for those bastards. Do you want money to live or not? Let me remind you that we got innocent people killed too. We're not that different from them after all. Please, Mordred, don't accept the case. Let's keep what little dignity we have left, I beg you. The storyline is influenced by your decisions. Oh god, no. No. Select one of the options to be prepared to face the consequences of your actions. Remember, there are no good or bad choices. Follow your instinct and create your own story. I mean, if we own a business right now, and nobody is going to become a knock on our door because we murdered innocents, then what's the point of even having a business and paying for the business when we're not receiving any money for it? So I'm gonna accept. Our future's more important. I don't want to risk everything for something that probably will never happen. I hope one day you'll understand this is the right move for us. I'll need you. Stay in touch. Alright. She's never going to forgive me, but sentimentality is good for nothing. Especially Nova Polemos. I better get going. To visit other places, select map from the... During the investigations, you'll discover new places to explore, and sometimes you will need to get there multiple times. Yeah, okay. Look at our map! Alright, Treasury Park. It's the only place we can go. Nice tree. As I expected, the crime scene has already been cleaned up. The place can be really scrupulous when the reputation of our city is at stake. Sir. Hmm? I'm sorry, but you had to leave. Oh, you must be Mr. Foley. Mr. Ward told me you were coming. Well, that woman has planned everything. May I see your pass, please? Pass? I guess you mean... From time to time, you will have to show evidence and objects from your inventory to unlock new dialogues, find clues, and new locations to investigate. Okay. You mean this, right? Very well, Detective. You can proceed with the investigation. I'm at your disposal. Thank you, officer. Mordred Foley, you son of a dog. Huh? Look who had the guts to get out of his crappy office. What are you doing here? Come to give yourself up, have you? Or just get beaten up? Getting into you, too, Freya. The road to hell is filled with good intentions. Look at him, Robert. Look, the only bastard I couldn't get fried up. Resentment is certainly one thing you're not lacking, unlike professionalism. Give me one good reason not to kick you out. I think solving cases that is incompetence like you will never be able to work out is a good enough reason. Spare me your sarcasm, Foley. Officer, get this man out of the crime scene. What the hell do you mean he's authorized? Damn it. I don't know whose ass you've been licking, Foley, but you'd better watch yourself, because I'll do anything to wipe that stupid smile off your face. Start wiping my ass too, darling. I'll bear that in mind. Can you let me do my job now? Listen to me, you're playing fire. This case is too much for someone like you. If you really care about your life and that of your girlfriend, leave right now. Farewell, Foley. That woman needs a vacation. Mordred, can you hear me? Loud and clear. I'm about to start investigating. Turn the camera on so I can help you with my computer while you investigate. Aquawells. A next-generation portable device used for a wide range of purposes. It can store and project holograms. It's able to make high-quality audio and video calls. Nice. Already uploaded files and holograms of the crime scene. From now on, all evidence and information you find will be automatically uploaded to your AquaOS. Right, let me activate this thing. We're about to discover what they've rushed to clean up. Oh. No way. He's back, Mordred. I can't. No, I have to. Hera, calm down. This nightmare just won't go away. It will never end. Never, never, never. Hera, listen to me. 6 years. Only 6 years, and... Please, Hera. Stop. Please. Damn, what should I do? Forcing her to look at this will just make things worse. But it would take me too long without her help. I must decide now. I wish I knew the backstory here. Like, apparently she knows someone that's done this before. And he's back. Do they think he died, went missing, went to jail, what? I feel like maybe we could do it without her, it'd just take more time? She's obviously freaking out, doesn't want to do it. Let's see what happens if we hang up on her. She's already pissed that we decided to take on this job. I'm sorry, Hera. It's for your own sake. Damn. First argument on the black bands, and now this. She's going to hold a grudge against me for months. Enough. Let's sort out this mess. Alright. Let's investigate. The arms are tied to the tree in a specific way, giving the illusion of some sort of macabre work of art. Same for her hair, placed with impeccable precision. The woman had her throat ruthlessly cut. According to Aqua's data collected by the police, the victim's eyes were surgically removed and then inserted into her mouth. Damn! Which was then sewn shut to avoid... Holy shit. What the hell of a freak are we dealing with? After her death, the victim's eyes were surgically removed and placed inside her mouth and sewed up. The woman's head covers the cut on her throat, making it look like her death was caused by the arrow. In the end, this is real life. Not even the gods can escape from the wretchedness of their peers. The woman's lower half is covered by some sort of cloth, while the upper part is naked. I thought her legs... Aren't her legs cut off? It doesn't look like they go all the way down. Given all of that, it's very likely that the victim was already dead before arriving at Treasury Park. These flowers have been arranged like in a sort of ritual. The killer sure took his time by the looks of it. Cornogua, they're a type of Daphne flower, quite common around here. Daphne, Hera, maybe you're right, he's back. No, I must not jump to conclusions. I need to keep investigating. Daphnes are quite common plants growing in small shrubs. Their use at the crime scene is definitely not a coincidence. Are they part of some sort of ritual? Thornless, blossoming flower, are you the favorite victim? Or is it just an ordinary petty obsession? A heavy lead arrow was lodged into the woman's chest. Considering the impact angle and the way of the arrow, it's unlikely that it was fired from a bow. This leads me to believe that the arrow was inserted by the murderer after he killed the victim. Why the hell would he do that? A heavy arrow found in the victim's chest. Its size and weight suggest it was lodged in after her death caused by the slit in her throat. Two were the arrows fired by the god of love. Both were created to make fun of mortal desires. No new bench, nothing interesting here. A broken bench, something heavy must have crashed onto it. There also seems to be some bloodstains. Interesting. This wooden bench was destroyed after the collision with something very heavy. The bloodstains on one side are a few days old. Destined to be a place of rest and meditation, these benches were hastily built during the economic miracle the city lived through. Didn't anyone bother to clean this bin up? What is this? A well-crafted leather glove with a big cut in the middle. There's some dried blood on the sides of the cut, suggesting a potential connection between this object and the crime scene. Leather gloves are a symbol of elegance and novopolimos, and generally worn by people who want to enhance their image. A man's glove with a big cut right in the middle, soaked in days-old blood. Might have something to do with the case. A woman tied to a tree with Daphne flowers at her feet and a lead arrow in her chest. That can only mean one thing. The killer wanted to emulate the myth of Apollo and Daphne. Hera, you're here? I thought I hung up on you. According to one of the most renowned legends of ancient Greece, Apollo, after one of his countless heroics, antagonized Eros, the god of love. Filled with jealousy from the peak of Mount Parnassus, he fired two arrows. A lead one, meant to repulse love, and a gold one, meant to make the victim hopelessly fall in love. The first arrow hit Daphne, a beautiful nymph. The other one struck Apollo, and made him fall in love with her. Under the spell of the arrow, the god continued to follow the nymph, while she continued to reject him. Daphne called upon her father, the river god, and pleaded for him to free her from Apollo. He took pity on her and used metamorphosis to turn her daughter into a tree, putting an end to the eager desire of Apollo. This poor girl is here to demonstrate that not even a divine entity is immune from torment and obsession. Or jealousy. My mom sent me a text. They're at a reunion. I think someone is dressed as Elvis on the stage singing in a mic. I don't think I'd have stayed home. Someone killing his victims in a scenic and dramatic way, recalling ancient myths. There's no doubt Mordred, this is like 6 years ago. Pandora. Pandora is a code name of the most dangerous and prolific serial killer in Nova Polemos. His first murder dates back to 2056, and he's been accredited with at least 8 victims, 6 of which were women. After 4 years of investigations, an agency called Foley Investigations found the identity of the killer, which actually is a couple made of 2 actors, Jennifer Kingston and Robert Harrington. During the trial, some compelling evidence was presented and they were sentenced to the electric chair. Following their execution, the agency underwent an investigation for falsification of evidence, an event that completely destroyed Foley's reputation. The case is still considered open. So is this what fucked them over? Is this why they're saying they killed 2 innocent people? Now I understand why that woman said I would have accepted this case. Anyway, there's something wrong with this. Pandora has always killed his victims in closed, isolated spaces, and always with untold up violence. This scene, though, seems like an attempt to create something different. What do you mean? It's too soon to draw any conclusion. We should talk to the police first. We don't know anything about the suspect or the witness. Besides, I refuse to believe they haven't reached the same conclusion. Now that Freya's not here, I could have a little talk with her colleague. Hello again, officer. Mr. Foley. I need to ask you something about the case, if you don't mind. Alright, but let's make this quick. Loyalty to the Black Bands is not worth my job. Could you describe the dynamics of the murder? We suspect that Mr. Baker lured the victim here with an excuse and then attacked her with a knife. The victim was somehow able to react and she managed to wound the attacker's hand. Probably with the same weapon that eventually killed her. Baker got hurt with his own knife. The weapon used by the killer at Treasury Park to murder Alicia Hart. The police suspect that Baker was hurt by the same knife during the struggle. Promises of vainglory vanished like blood on a wicked steel. Should we show them this? When she was already dead, he removed her eyeballs, placed them in her mouth, and sewed it up. Then he undressed the victim, tied her to the tree, and arranged flowers and hair in that way. That probably took hours, but as you know, the park is pretty much deserted at night, and the killer seemed to know it too. Once he was done, the killer headed towards the nearest hospital, unaware that someone spied on him. Didn't the eyewitness react at all? The girl claims to have arrived while the suspect was tying the victim to the tree. Is that all? You arrested a man based on this? Your argument is shaky at best. Have you even considered the blood on the bench? I never said I would tell you everything, Detective. I do care about my job. I guess I'll have to figure this out myself. What can you tell me about Freya? The lieutenant is the kind of police officer that can't last long in a place like this. Zealous, talented, genuine, and as you know, Mr. Foley, honest people usually end up with a bullet in their head. None of us would be surprised if we were found her dead on the corner of the street. Jeez. What can you tell me about the suspect? Baker's one of the greatest revolutionaries of our era. I truly believe he's the only one who can save the city from degradation. Great, a fan of the black bands and the police. And he's even part of the team that arrested him. This deal will never stop amazing me. I was asking for his motive in a relationship with the victim. I'm not interested in his career as champion of justice. Well, we suspect that Mr. Baker killed Alicia Hart because she'd been blackmailing him for quite a while. Because she was a secret lover. With elections approaching, he maybe thought that a public statement from her could destroy his political and private life. What about the eyewitness? She's the suspect's sister-in-law. What was she doing at Treasury Park in the middle of the night? She was following him, most likely. We're not sure yet. Officer. What the hell? Freya? Why the hell did you leave your position? Lieutenant, I don't have time for your nonsense. Go back there now. Yes, ma'am. What are you waiting for? Hurry up. Oh, you're still here. Good evening, Lieutenant Goldsoul. Look who's here. Fully let you out of the doghouse at last. Actually, it's me who's keeping him on a lead, but don't tell him, it could hurt his feelings. Hope I didn't ruin a nice chit-chat with my subordinate. Not at all, you're the one I wanted to talk to. Me? That's funny. What could I possibly talk about with a bastard like you? Freya hates me, but she's honest and righteous. I'm sure she knows there's something wrong with the scene. I've got to take advantage of her big ego. It's risky, but I see no alternatives. I have reasons to believe that your version of the events is completely wrong. Being a criminal wasn't enough, now you're a conspiracy theorist as well? You may be a fanatic, but you're not dumb. There's no way you haven't noticed some oddities. What are you talking about? Put your hard feelings aside for a second and use your head. This case is totally recalling Pandora's murders. Also, an eyewitness out of nowhere. Who's got all the reasons to hate Baker. Don't you see anything weird going on? Mordred, are you really trying to save that man? Trust me, Yara, it's for your own good. I hope you know what you're doing. So, you think you know the truth? Right at the start of the investigation? Maybe. Very well. You tickled my curiosity. Or maybe I just want to see you fail, so I can make fun of you and your arrogance. Go on, explain your theory. Don't waste your only chance. One single chance. I better double check everything before starting. You can check all evidence, documents, and profiles you've collected before explaining your version of events. Start the dialogue with Freya as soon as you're ready. Whew. Man, I don't know. I guess let's do it. Alright, first things first. We know the victim's eyeballs were carefully removed after she died. These were found inside her mouth, which was cruelly sewed up. Right, what's your point? Baker can't be responsible for such vile actions because... he didn't have the skills to do it? I don't know. Of course there's no reason to do it because she's already dead, so I don't... It had nothing to do with the myth. Just because he didn't have skills to do it. Tell me, Frey, could you remove someone's eyeballs with the same level of accuracy of the killer? What kind of question is that? Mordred is right. Removing eyeballs with accuracy is anything but simple. Only someone with great surgical skills could do it. Mr. Baker is definitely not a surgeon, and I believe he lacks the guts to do such things anyway. Removing eyeballs and sewing mouths? Not an everyday activity, is it? Especially if it's about an old politician living in luxury. Besides, according to your version, Baker is supposed to have a wound on his hand. Surgery with a wounded hand? Totally unrealistic, if you ask me. Perhaps you have a point, but it's not enough to clear Baker yet. At least this suggests that he had an accomplice. An accomplice that the witness claims not to have seen. I get what you mean, but that's not the problem here. What are you talking about? Your colleague reported that after removing the eyeballs and sewing up the mouth, after a short struggle during which he had his hand wounded, Baker undressed the woman and tied her to the tree. Then he arranged the flowers in her hair. This probably took a few hours. Can you confirm this is your official version? Yes, it is. Don't you think we're still missing something? I'm not sure. Well, the evidence that was omitted is... Oh, man. Is it this? Are you crazy or what? This evidence doesn't make any sense. I think Mordred, what's the missing evidence? Let's see. How many tries do I get? I thought it was this thing because it has blood on it. What evidence are we missing? Got the arrow. We got the knife. Lead arrow? Precisely. This arrow is fundamental to solve the case. I have reasons to believe that Baker got to the crime scene when it had already happened. And why would you assume that? I think the suspect saw the body of his lover. He panicked and tried to remove the arrow. The victim had her throat cut, so what's the point of removing the arrow from the body? Look closely. The cut on her throat was completely covered by the head, and the blood poured directly on the wound inflicted by the arrow. So what? Just think about it. Baker gets here and sees his lover's body. He notes the arrow, the bleeding wound, and he panics. He tries to pull the arrow out to save her, maybe yelling at her, hoping that she's still alive. It would be silly. Not if you're completely panicking. Anyway, your version of events doesn't make sense. There were no fingerprints on the arrow. There's no way Baker could have tried to pull it out. That's where the glove comes into play. Baker left no fingers because of this evidence. Those are amazing, aren't they? Discreet, no fingerprints. Where the hell did you find that? Right here, under the nose of our infallible and omnipresent police force. You're just a liar, Foley. I know I shouldn't have listened to you. Do you think that your men had no reason to hide it? Tell me, how many would like to see Baker behind bars, and how many can you trust? Hiding something so important in plain sight. Classic. Especially previously arranged. Also, the cut on the glove suggests there was a fight, but it happened in a completely different way. The suspect was probably attacked from behind while he was trying to pull out the arrow. He instinctively turned around and tried to protect his face with his hand. So he got wounded. At that point, he tried to run away, but he didn't get far. What makes you believe it? This is the evidence that shows that the escape attempt immediately ended. Evidence that shall immediately ended. While running away, Baker was thrown against the bench, ending up destroying it, apparently. That makes sense. And I bet the blood on the bench is Baker's, for sure. And how do you explain what happened next? What the? The attacker allegedly allowed Baker to run away, an eyewitness who's condemning him. Are you implying that an injured old man can run faster than a merciless killer? Tss. Who is she? This is Abigail Sherman, the eyewitness of Alicia's murder. You cannot escape from a prison with no bars. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. She's... What is it? Not feeling well. Nice face. What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Crushing creative hypothesis made you uncomfortable? Quite the contrary, miss. You just opened my eyes. What are you talking about? Now, excuse me, I have an important meeting. You'll be hearing from me soon, Freya. Hey, where the hell are you going? What an idiot. I was even listening to him. Why'd you run off? A scary mask appeared on Abigail's face. And this means that our dear witness is lying. Mask of lies. Excerpt from the Psychiatric Evaluation of Mordred Foley. I'll be straight with you, Professor. Every time someone lies to me, some sort of animal mask appears on their face, while space and reality looks distorted. I never figured out the origin of this living, waking nightmare, and I honestly don't care. Right now, I just want you to stop telling me that no one is ever going to listen to this conversation. How can I tell that you're lying? Take a guess. So Mordred can tell when people's lie, okay. This mask again? You think she might be the killer? Not necessarily. She could be an accomplice or maybe someone who's trying to frame the suspect. We need more evidence before interrogating her, and we need to hear Baker first. Maybe he'll explain how he managed to survive. He should be at the police station. Let's pay him a visit. Okay, but first, I need to talk to you. Come back to the office as soon as you can. I'll be back when I get the chance. In the meantime, I'll put the evidence in order. Useless evidence have been removed from your inventory. Oh, okay. That's good. Homicide department. Half the people who work here want to see me dead. Only half? You're underestimating your talent, detective. What the? You're the last person I expected to see here fully. David? Don't tell me you need your favorite lawyer again. I'd rather spend 4 or more years in court than hear your stupid jokes. Law and arrogance are the same thing. I saved you from the electric chair and that's how you thank me? I was disappointed, my friend. So in 2066 they're using electric chairs? Huh. I'm not your friend, and honestly, I don't care. I'm here for Richard Baker. Any idea where he could be? Of course, my client just got out of the interrogation room. He's on the phone now, but he'll be here soon, I guess. Client? Great. Are you going to settle with 30 years of prison for him too? Oh, come on. Are you still upset about that? And to think that I'm the one who mentioned your name to the black bands. Well, thank you for putting me in this mess then. I know, I'm such a big-hearted man, but then again, I've always been a fan of lost causes. By the way, before you two have a talk, I should probably share some information with you. What kind of information? Let's start from the beginning. Oh no. How'd you end up with the Black Bands? You said you hated their political ideas. Someone once said, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Besides, money and ideals are two completely different things. And you should know what I mean better than anyone. How's Baker? Keeping up appearances, but he's visibly upset. His left arm is full of bruises. The injury on his right hand is more serious than expected. Probably he won't be able to move his fingers for a while. Interesting. The wound that Baker suffered is very deep, causing his hand to be completely unusable. Eternal evidence that, once again, the king is fully naked. What does that mean? What? You probably know this, but people still have no idea that my client is under investigation for the murder at Treasury Park. Oh my god, my voice. So much talking. However, this won't last for long. As soon as the news spreads, the consequences for Baker and his party will be catastrophic. What makes you think that? There's hardly any crimes in the city, and even fewer murders, and that's why this whole case is a ticking bomb. And then there's Mrs. Baker, on the verge of a breakdown. She just believes that after her husband's lover, they will kill her too. Ah, love. What a wonderful thing. Yeah. On a second thought, that woman could shed some light on Baker's relationship with Abigail. I can give you his address, but be careful. Don't say too much or you're going to make a mess. And the last thing we want is her blowing the whistle to the media. Remember, I can protect you from the judges and journalists, but no one escapes the Black Band's revenge. Don't worry though. I'm sure that a sweet guy like you will be able to cheer her up. Well, I suppose it's time for you to talk to your beloved party leader. But first, I need to ask you something about Treasury Park. A little birdie told me that someone found a piece of evidence that has not been reported to the police. You have no idea who this person might be, have you? Maybe he's talking about the glove I found. That would help him in the trial, but I risk getting Freya in trouble. What should I do? That bitch hates us anyway. Submit the evidence. You're a real hunting dog, dude. The police might lose its credibility because of that. And that might help our client. The police were hiding it anyway. I hope this will make Freya hate me, but god, words. She could turn my investigation to absolute hell. Oh, perfect timing. My dear Mordred, this is Richard Baker, party leader of the Black Bands. Oh, Detective Foley, we finally meet. The pleasure's mine, Mr. Baker. Sorry to bother you, but I really need to ask you some questions. You're a man who goes straight to the point, I see. I just went through 4 hours of interrogation, but I suppose some more questioning won't kill me. Besides, as you know, there's no rest for the wicked. Then I'll leave you lovebirds alone. If you need anything, don't hesitate to contact me. Shall we start, Detective? I'm curious to know what you want from me. Mr. Baker, I need to hear your version of the facts. Please describe what happened that night, and try to be as accurate as possible. Alicia contacted me a few days earlier. She was threatening to reveal our affair to the press if I refused to keep supporting her. She has to meet me in Treasury Park to discuss the terms of agreement, and I had to accept without saying a word. I got there in time. I just wanted this to be over once and for all. But when I arrived, she was already tied to that tree and someone killed her. I yelled at her, hoping that she was still alive, and I panicked so much that I tried to pull out that heavy arrow. Suddenly, someone attacked me from behind and hit my hand with a knife while I was trying to defend myself. I tried to run, but after a few steps I was thrown against a bench. I got hurt and I fainted. I was sure I was going to die. Before losing consciousness though, I heard someone screaming, maybe a girl, and then it all goes blank. A girl screaming? Oh, you're being a dirty little liar right now. I wake up like 10 minutes later and I was left alone with the corpse. The attacker had disappeared. What the hell? So I took the opportunity to get away and call for help. You know the rest. Could you describe your relationship with Alicia? Alicia, she was young and naive. Maybe too naive. You're never too young to die. Ain't that the truth? There was a fire within her. She wanted to be an artist and a director, but she could not afford any schools in Nova Palimos. She used to wander around the city while filming places and people with a 50-year-old camera, hoping to make a name for herself, to become someone. And why would someone like her decide to bond with the leader of the Black Bands? The flesh is weak and ambition never comes from innocence. She is beautiful and I was able to give her what she wanted. You can figure out the rest. You're considered one of the moderate members of the party. Why so? Because unlike most of my colleagues, I don't discriminate against people of a different race, gender, or religion. It all depends on what they're worth, and this is defined by the Patterson test, which we introduced more than 20 years ago. Every 5 years, the citizens of Nova Palimos must take the Patterson test. It consists of multiple questions aimed at assessing the IQ and the individual skills of each person. Obtaining a high score brings several advantages, such as better job positions, more freedom on the internet, and free access to medical facilities. In the city, there are many institutes that offer courses to prepare people for the test. They're usually attended by older people, who usually have higher chances to fail the test. The older you get, the dumber you are? Oh, the Patterson test, I see. You mean that sort of exam that collects everyone's private info, like individual skills, earning, country origin, and which political party they support? Listen to me, Mr. Foley. If you think we can share the resources of Nova Palimos with everyone, you're just a fool. Uncontrolled immigration, poor education, and the opinion of illiterate people are the reasons behind the threat of collapse. Nova Palimos is built on ambition and won't let some deadbeat parasite destroy a little paradise. I'm starting to think that you're exploiting education to create your personal army of puppets. Ugh. You may disagree with our vision, Detective, but let me remind you that your future's bound to mine. If I fall, you're going to down with me. So please stop acting like a mad dog. Something wrong, Detective? I noticed something interesting while you were talking. What do you mean? You talked about the case, your party, and the victim. However, you never said anything about one of the most important actors in this huge farce. And I believe there's no coincidence. I don't understand. The person you've been omitting on purpose is... What? Maybe Abigail Sherman? The very same person that's testifying against you. Abigail. What does she have to do with this? You should tell me that. What are you trying to imply? Abigail is testifying against me. Why the hell should I defend her? It's my life at stake, not hers. Just as I thought, Baker's lying, and the mask proves it. Before I interrogate him, I need more evidence on Abigail and Alicia. I might get something from his wife. I shall go back and tell Hera what I found. Please forgive my manners, Mr. Baker. I've gone too far. Huh? What's with the sudden U-turn, Mr. Foley? Well, don't worry. If you need me, you will find me right here. Just don't take too long to find the truth. Whatever could get me out of here. You need more evidence to expose Baker. Alright. Your music sucks. Cue the music. Oh, Mordred, you're back. I hope you don't mind if I put some music on. I remember this song. You composed it when we started our agency. Indeed, I wanted to relive the thrill I felt in creating something of my own. Nellie might lose everything. Those memories are all I have. When I think of those days, I realize that we become the monsters we swore to destroy. Hera, what's wrong? It's just that, honestly, I don't get you, Mordred. You accepted the case without even blinking, and teamed up with those who have ruined the lives of thousands of people, mine included. And this is all for money and to save what remains of our so-called agency. Don't be childish, Hera. We can't feed our dreams and ideals. Why is that, Mordred? Could you really live with yourself, conscious of having unleashed those beasts? A propaganda flyer with Baker's face on its back lots of sentences about respect, family, honor, and unity. These flyers always had dark shades and aimed at exploiting people's fears. If they win, we'll settle this Pandora thing once and for all. Then we'll leave. Just you and me. Screw anyone else. You're the only one I can trust. I need to be sure that you really want to follow me to the end. You say you need me, and still you treat me like a child who cannot handle the truth. What are you talking about? I'm talking about when you decided to cut me out of the investigation and pressure. Good lord, you were freaking out! I did for your own good, and you know it. Yes, but stop treating me like a weakling. I'm stronger than you think. Believe me, I know. Either way, please. When the time comes, please carefully consider whether our future outweighs the life and hopes of thousands of people. I'm dead serious when I say that our decision could disrupt the entire society of Nova Polymos. Now, please fill me in on what happened. Sit down, this is going to take a while. Baker's lying too. Indeed, I need more evidence to push him to tell me what really happened. Right, I'll be here if you need me. As the investigation progresses, you unlock more conversation topics with Hera. Baker's mask. Why wouldn't Baker tell us the truth? He's the one who hired us. I'm not entirely sure, but I think he's hiding something about Abigail. Anne could be the solution to most of our problems. She's Eyewitness's sister and our client's wife, after all. Have you already tried talking to her? No. Regarding the glove. Don't you think we could have ruined Freya's career forever by showing it to David? Freya's the least of our problems now. Besides, we would never be able to help solve the glove issue without her help. I see. I just hope that it won't have serious consequences. It probably will. Wow. I I knew Baker loved luxury, but that megalomaniac managed to surprise me once again. Who are you? Who let you in here? This is my house. Oh, you must be Ian Baker. Your housekeeper let me in. I'm Mordred Foley, and... Revolution's not meant for the poor. There's no need for you to introduce yourself. Your sloppy outfit and that lingering stench of tobacco. You must be one of those dirty journalists trying to disgrace my husband's name even more. You parasites, feeding on the misery of a man who created an empire with the sweat of his brow. I'm not a damn journalist, I'm the detective hired by your husband. My husband asked for a detective? Why wasn't I aware of this? As I suspected, Baker didn't tell her anything. They're hiding things from you in order to protect you, madame, but I'm here because your help could be fundamental to the investigations. And how am I supposed to help you? Just answer my questions for now. If you're truly convinced of your husband's innocence, why would Abigail testify against him? What kind of question is that? Someone probably tricked my sister into this, knowing about her relationship with Alicia. Were they good friends? When you think, Alicia's probably the only person who could make Abigail smile. What can you tell me about Alicia Hart? Oh, that poor angel. She was having an affair with Baker, was she not? Alicia was a dear friend of my sister. They were both artists, dreaming about shooting a movie together. She used to come here often. Oh, she doesn't know. Never mind. She was the only person able to cheer on my beloved Abigail. When Richard realized that, he began to support Alicia's work, hoping to give her a bright future. Obviously, someone spread malicious rumors about an alleged intimate affair between my husband and her, but they were just envious of his kindness. Sure. After all, you cannot expect those peasants to be able to comprehend such superb examples of altruism. In fact, some creep killed her, and now my dear Richard is forced to sleep surrounded by those jackals. No mask on her face. This one really believes in her husband's faithfulness. This must be the result of years of brainwashing. She has such a distorted vision of reality. Oh boy. Can you imagine if she finds out? My beloved husband has always been a man like no other. Vigorous, valiant, altruistic. Unlike those snakes of the black bands, he always committed himself to peace and equality, fighting for the rights of every citizen. It's just pathetic how the majority of the police force were against him. Do you think he might have been framed by his colleagues? Of course. Who else could even ever want to go up against such a good man? Tell your husband I need to search your house. It won't take long, I promise. No way. My husband is innocent. All you want is to ruin his name and torture my soul. Admit it. Pierce and Finley sent you here. Those filthy. Madam, I have no idea who those people are. They're my husband's biggest rivals. Those hypocrites speak of peace but just want to take his place. I'm just wasting my time. I need to convince her to let me investigate around. Harry might have an idea. She has always been better than me at dealing with people. Let me guess, Anna's not quite the angel you imagined. The woman won't let me touch anything in that damn mansion. Maybe you should trigger her fears, possibly by showing her something about her husband or the Black Bands. Leveraging on people's fears, that's my thing. It really is a back and forth thing. What would she fear though? This? taking a huge leap of faith, but maybe it's worth a try. Do you know what this is? Of course you do. It's a flyer from the campaign of Richard's party. Precisely. On his back, you can read some big words like respect, honor, unity, and pride. But apparently, they don't have much to do with the majority of the black bands. And you stated many times that your husband has lots of enemies inside both the party and the police force. So tell me, madame, have you ever thought that those same enemies could hurt you as well? What? So it's true. They want to kill me too. It's a possibility. If you don't let me investigate, your life will be in danger. Do you understand that? Maybe. Well, I guess you're right. Fine, you're free to investigate around, but please don't let them hurt me. This poor woman is just a shadow of herself. Maybe I should tell her the truth about Baker. Or maybe I should calm her down so she doesn't do anything foolish. Alright, first you should know that would she even believe us though? I mean, come on. We might as well hide the truth because she's freaking dead at this point. What's the point in bringing it up? She'll probably hear from it later on. Yasmin can't wait to hold you in his arms again. Besides, at least she was blackmailing him. Well, that's silly, man. Thinking of me despite the situation. Thank you, detective. You really have a good heart. Poor woman. Forced to live in a 5-star prison made of lies and empty words. The truth would have hurt her too much. Maybe it would have helped her out of this nightmare. I better investigate. Here we go. Only Baker could have such a bad taste. If the artist's intention was to portray their emotional distress, well, he succeeded. A bookcase full of books about sociology, politics, and history. I bet Baker put them here just to impress his guests. Fireplace that no Polemos. Now I've seen it all. I can't even imagine how much they paid for something like this. Looks more like the entrance to a crypt rather than a door. The tastes of rich people are just terrible. I'd give anything to spend a week with my ass on shit like this. I thought their tastes were terrible. Some drawers containing useless paperwork and old articles about the black bands. I haven't seen chairs like these for years. I can imagine they were still popular among Nova Polemos elitists. This photo has been turned down. This must be Alicia and Abigail. Those two seem really close, so why was the picture turned down? The picture was turned down. It perfectly describes the relationship between the victim and the eyewitness. Alicia is holding the old camera she always carries around. There's no fairest flower than the one consumed by ambition. An old yet still working laptop. Nothing interesting here. Must be Abigail's computer, given the huge amount of... Wait, what are these? Dozens of encrypted emails from a few days before the murder sent to someone called Taptapol. From the little Greek I know, I think it means Tartarus, or something like that. How did Abigail manage to encrypt and send those emails without getting blocked by the security system? Since its foundation, Nova Polemos has been using Caligula, a communication and browsing system mandatory for everyone in the city. Whoever passes the Patterson test has the right to use it, and the content they create, see, or share is monitored by the police and the secret intelligence services. The system is free and widely accepted due to the high navigation speed and the security it provides, by all the elitists of the city who fear strangers and everything that could break their status quo. importing, or using different operating systems is a crime punished with either jail or expulsion. I should probably just ask her as soon as I'm done with Baker. An old support containing several encrypted emails sent to someone called Tartarus. A few days before the murder, who went from what seems to be Abigail's computer. Old storage supports are the only way of transferring information in Nova Polimos without getting caught by a Caligula control system. I found her less than I'd hoped. Far less. I guess the place has already been cleaned out. Anyway, I think I'm not to expose Baker's lies. Alright. The truth. Mr. Baker, it's time for you to tell me the truth about Abigail and Alicia's death. We've already been through this. I didn't see Abigail at night, and I already gave you my version of the events. Welcome to the Living Nightmare system. In this game mode, you will have to expose your interlocutor's lies by presenting facts or evidence collected during investigation. If you submit the wrong evidence for 3 times, it's game over. Choose carefully. Wow. You're lying through your teeth, my dear Baker. First things first. When you told me about the victim, you never explained how you two had met. It all started when Alicia contacted me for an interview. Nonetheless, she never had any kind of relationship with my family. Are you sure? If your family didn't know her, how can you explain this? They seem pretty close for being strangers. Don't you agree, Mr. Baker? I can only imagine how pleased Abigail was when she discovered that her dearest friend had an intimate relationship with her brother-in-law. Alicia used to come to her house quite often. She and Abigail were good friends, and they were trying to film some sort of documentary together. One night she approached me with an excuse, and, well, from that day Abigail started hating me even more. Her will to testify against me did not take me by surprise. If you wanted to humiliate me, mission accomplished, but I still can't understand where your rants are heading. One step at a time. Let's go back to your fight with the killer. You said that you heard a girl screaming, right before losing consciousness. Exactly. What's so strange about this? The attacker could have easily killed you, but instead he decided to run away with no apparent reason. This would be nonsense, unless... There's Abigail? You're not serious, are you? Abigail's the killer? And where's your proof? Damn it, I must try again. I didn't think that would be right. Killer recognized the voice. Killer recognized the voice. And that voice belongs to... Oh shit. I don't know. See, Alicia was murdered. And Baker's was his wife. Abigail Sherman? What? The look on your face is worth 1,000 words. Damn it, alright. There's no screaming nor fainting. During the struggle, I grabbed my taser and temporarily paralyzed the killer so I could escape. I never told anyone because tasers are illegal in Nova Palemos, and I would have risked imprisonment no matter what. Come on, you can do better than this. Your lives are getting worse. You never used a taser against a killer, and this piece of evidence proves it. You could still use a taser with an injured hand, though. Should we try it? Police report that you struggled with the attacker, holding him with your left hand because the right one was severely injured right before. Using any weapon would have been impossible, but it's a taser, though. I don't... This panic of yours does nothing but reinforce my argument, Mr. Baker. After you were thrown against the bench, Abigail screamed, run towards you, and distracted the killer so that you could run away from him. That girl saved your life. I cannot hide anything from you. Am I right, detective? It's true, the killer seemed to know her. They were whispering to each other. She was looking quite scared, though. Then I ran away like a coward, leaving her in the clutches of that monster. I have really no clue how she knew him, but I'm sure she's testifying against me because the killer is blackmailing her. So, you think the killer left you both alive to exploit Abigail in court? Pretty much. And so, you contacted me in the hope that I would arrest the wrong person, thus saving both your life and Abigail's. Damn it, that girl's been manipulated by the killer. I must talk to her, now. Just one last thing, Foley. Remember, if something bad happens to Abigail, you're a dead man. This case looks harder than I expected. Let's talk to Abigail as soon as possible. Especially about the emails I found on her computer. Maybe she's with Freya. I should probably look for her. Freya's gonna be pissed. Freya, for the first time, I'm really happy to see you. You again? What the hell do you want from me, Foley? Where's Abigail? I need to talk to her. Do you need to apologize for running away like that, or what? Enough with your bullshit, listen to me. What? You're kidding, right? Hell no. Abigail knows the killer. He's probably blackmailing her. You mentioned some emails. Do you maybe have the files with you? Yes, but are you able to decrypt them? We know how many times people go to the loo in a day. Hell, if some stupid emails can stop me. Good. Make sure you don't miss anything. I'm counting on you. Seriously? You say them on this piece of junk? Your colleagues must not see this evidence, not even the ones you trust. Driven by their hate for Baker, they could make it disappear, and we'd miss our chance to find the truth. I don't trust you, but if it makes you feel better, I trust my colleagues even less. I'll call Abigail and send her to your office. Just don't make me regret my decision, okay? Call me as soon as you find something. And try not to be reckless. Sorry, I'm not taking advice from a criminal. See you later, Foley. I can only imagine what she'll do when she finds out that I gave David the glove. Anyway, now I really need to go back to the office and put an end to this farce. Apparently she's not pissed yet. Just you wait. Frey asked me to come here as quickly as possible. What the hell do you want from me? Good evening, Miss Abigail. Since you skipped the small talk, I'll get right to the point. I know you saved Baker from the real killer. I know about your relationship with Alicia and the encrypted emails on your computer. What? The last piece. Only one last little piece is missing. I don't have time to look for evidence this time. I must rely on my instinct to expose her. The truth about Pandora. First things first, Baker admitted that you saved him with the night of the murder. We also know that the killer saw your face. Nevertheless, you're still here, willing to testify against our client. Curious how he let you get away so easily after you stopped him from killing Baker, isn't it? Are you implying that I know the killer? You're a clever kid. Of course I know the killer. It's Richard Baker, the bastard I've been living with for years. Bullshit, you're testifying against Baker because... you're the real killer! Well, it's either one of these two. If the real killer's threatening you, maybe that. Threatening? Do I look like a girl who's threatened by a merciless killer? You can try to hide as much as you wish, but the mask doesn't lie. Please, Abigail, help us catch that man. If you don't trust us, at least trust Freya. Don't you wish to avenge the death of your friend? Do you really want that maniac to kill again? It all began several months ago. The first time the killer contacted us, he was pretending to be a famous director, interested in our work. He seemed to be the only one able to understand our needs. He hated the black bands and the state of our city, at least as much as we did. We used to communicate via encrypted emails only, so that the police could not see the stuff we were sharing. What kind of stuff? All sorts of stuff, really. Mostly videos and pictures. And in fact, he was showing particular interest in Alicia's videos. What? Why is that? Well, because most of them were about Baker himself. She'd been dating him for a while, but I didn't know that. Wait a minute. You said that he seemed to be the only one able to understand her needs, didn't you? Yes, I did. And you seem to dislike Baker, if I'm not mistaken. I hate him with all my heart. The man ruined my life, and that of those who are living in this country. And despite that, you allowed him to get that close to your friend? Kind of weird, don't you think? I didn't know about their affair. You did know about it, and that's because... oh. I mean, this is an interesting option. You get a relationship with Baker. I don't think that's right, but... I think she probably convinced her. I don't know, though. I don't think it's this one. This is just too much. I'm out of here. Yeah, I knew something that was probably not right. No, forgive me. I didn't mean to. I mean, if she hates him that much, maybe it would divorce. You took advantage of Alicia's affair to blackmail him, collecting money so that you could fulfill your dreams while destroying his reputation. At the night of the murder, you were there because you wanted to... The night your goal was to film Baker with your camera and destroy his reputation once and for all. You probably revealed your plan to Pandora and he plotted to kill Alicia. He waited for the night of the meeting and he used the relationship between Baker and your friend to recreate the myth of Apollo and Daphne. She was a beautiful woman, the perfect nymph, while Baker was the arrogant god of the sun, who believed he could control the world and win her love with a snap of his finger. In Pandora's mind, the only way Alicia had to escape the clutches of Baker was to be merged with the tree, turning them into the myth. Hera, you'll never stop amazing me. We only wanted to make our dreams come true. Alicia, if only I made it there earlier. What do you mean? That night I tried to call her before the meeting, but she never picked up the phone. I got worried and ran to the park, but when I got there, she was already dead, and the killer was there, waiting for me behind that tree. A tall man with a thick black coat and a wolf-shaped mask. A man with a wolf mask? Oh no. As soon as he saw me, he ran towards me, grabbed my arm and dragged me to Alicia. Then he whispered in my ear that If I had not filmed Baker's arrival, I would have ended up like her. Oh my god. Are you kidding? What kind of crazy fuck would have himself filmed while attacking someone? No idea, but I was terrified, so I hid close by, turned the camera on, and waited for Baker to show up. After the killer attacked the bastard, I instinctively started to scream, blowing my cover. I don't know why I did it. I freaked out and my body was like moving on its own. While I was running towards them, the killer suddenly came closer to hit me in the face, snatching the camera from my hand and allowing Baker to run away. When he realized Baker escaped, he started laughing like a maniac, then he grabbed my hair and... He forced me to tell Alicia that everything was going to be fine, while caressing her cheek with the back of my hand. And he caught this on our camera. After that, he let me go, promising that I would have heard from him again soon. When I got home, he sent me an email with the video file attached and he asked me to testify. He said this was meant to preserve what he defined as a pleasant memory. Abigail, I'm so sorry. Wait a minute, you had the video that night? Why didn't you just say that? Mordred, what the hell's wrong with you? This girl's gone through hell. Yeah, I have a copy of the video with me. Do whatever you want with it. Burn it, give it to the police, sell it, I don't care. You brought a copy of the video. This means that you knew. We would have found out everything. Actually, I couldn't wait to free myself from this burden. Even if I have to hide until you catch that freak. Its content might clear Baker of all charges. Future of a country hides in its past. Find Frey at the police station, you'll be safe there. One last thing before I go. I'm not the only one the killer's threatening. Wait. What's she talking about? One step at a time. Submitting this video with exonerate Baker and let the police shift their focus to the real killer. And then we would collect a reward. We would save our agency and go back to our normal lives. But if we did it, the Black Bands would win the elections. We might bring horror and pain back to the city, ruining the lives of thousands of people. To give up our reward and put a stake our future, preventing the return of an extremist party. Or to sacrifice the lives of thousands of people, destroying everything we have ever worked for? It's time to make a choice. Well, y'all know what my choice is. You may be a monster, but Baker's not guilty. And we have already spilled enough innocent blood. Maybe you're right, Mordred. Stopping Baker would temporarily save the city, but in a few years history would repeat itself. Maybe with an even worse party leader, and we deserve a normal life after all we've been through. Let the citizens of Nova Palemos decide their future. Maybe they'll make the right choice for once. I'm glad we came to the same conclusion. By the way, I'm still baffled by what Abigail said. An email? It's from Freya. Berigian 47. That's all. What does it mean? Looks like some sort of address. Wait a minute. Damn it. Mordred? Oh no. Of course. I put her life in danger now. Shit. I should have known better. We must save her, Mordred. We must... No, you stay here and give the video to the police. I'll handle this. Let's keep in touch. Wait. I don't think there's anything to investigate right now. Maybe there is. I don't think so. It's not letting me do anything. What am I supposed to do here? I see nothing. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Go to Verigian 47, investigate. I'm here. But I can't investigate. Do I need to use an item? Hmm. Alright, well, unfortunately I'm getting a headache, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. It's an interesting start to this game, honestly. I can't really keep track of people. I'm not really connected with them. So I forget who's who when they're talking. Plus the names are similar. Alicia, Abigail, I think there's another girl with an A at the start of her name. They're too similar. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good game so far. I like the fact that he can see when people are lying. Let's figure out what the hell to do here. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.